Hello and welcome here to Priors Flat this afternoon, and what at the moment is a lovely afternoon for cricket, and it's Concert who are batting first here, having been sent in by the Tynedale captain Tom Cant, and they're 74 for 3 in the first innings here. And at the wicket are Wynne, he is 2 not out, and Stewie Graham is at the top end there, and he's 21 not out, and it's Callan McCabe who's bowling for Tynedale from the Gasworks end. So he's coming towards us here, down behind third man, broadcasting from the clubhouse. It's McCabe to Wynne, and he's on the back foot this time and just pushes it out onto the leg side, and there's no run. And it's fielded by Ewan Stevenson there, who's in at close mid-wicket at the moment. But the field, the weather's alright at the moment. The field is one slip. We've got a gully, a backward point. It's Rainford in at extra cover. We've got a deep cover, Parker over by the house end to our right. We've got a mid-off, a mid-on, and Stevenson at square leg as McCabe runs in again now, and he doesn't bowl. Umpire Greener at the top end it is today. He's hatless, and he just signals a dead ball up to the scorers to our left here through the wall. Umpire Hardy, the other man in charge at square leg over to the tennis court side. But here's Callan McCabe runs in again now over the wicket and bowls, and that's hit him on the pad, and there's a big shout for LBW, and it's a win this time, and umpire Greener says no, and there's just one ball left in this over now, and this is McCabe's 7th over of the innings, and they're going to try and entice Wynne into a shot here, because it may be short, because Stevenson has dropped right back onto the tennis court boundary down at deep square leg to our left here. As the sun just glazes across the top of the trees there in the distance, McCabe runs in again now and bowls over the wicket to Wynne, and it's outside the off stump. A good stop there by Renton in at gully. Wynne chopped down on that one, and it came off the edge, and a diving stop by Renton in at gully, and that's the end of the over. So 33 overs gone now in the innings. We've come on air here, but we've been going for a couple of hours now. One of these early start matches, the last 3 of the season, starting at 12:30, and 74 for 3 Concert. Graham 21, Wynne 2, and the scorecard so far, we've got Stokoe was bowled by Scott for 10, Hunter LBW Peter 15, and it's Tom Cant to take up the new over, bowling to Graham, who drives out towards the tennis courts there, and it's Stevenson at deep cover who fields and throws in, and Graham comes through for another single. He's gone to 22. The score goes to 75 for 3 Concert. And we had Raza, who was caught Renton, bowled McCabe 17. So those are the 3 batsmen out so far. Cant again now bowling to Wynne this time, who's forward in defence and just pushes the ball back to the bowler there, and there's no run. So Scott, David Newton opened the bowling. He's bowled 10. He's got a couple left. Manny Scott, he's got a wicket with his 6 overs so far. Cant bowling again now to Wynne, who swings away high, and there's a shout for LBW. It struck him on the pad on the front leg there, and umpire Hardy says no again. There's been plenty of work for umpire Hardy down at this end today. Especially when the ball was moving about with the fast bowlers at the start. 1 or 2 balls hit the pads and big appeals went up, but he's only given 1 so far. But in goes Cant again over the wicket to Wynne, and that's hit him on the pad, and there's another appeal, a big appeal just from Cant this time though. He didn't get the support of Crichton there behind the stumps or anything else, or anybody else out there, so he has to suffer that one on his own. But now long mid-off has gone back for Graham here, and attempt him into a shot over the top. There's 2 square on the offside away to the left there. There's a deep cover point and a deep extra cover and a deep mid-wicket as well. Cant bowls on a good length, and that's beaten the bat this time of Graham, and he stands there looking like he's just pinched a sweet or something. He was looking a little bit sheepish there after he just poked the bat at that one, and Crichton took it behind. But here's Graham again facing up to Cant. Bowls, and Graham plays off the back foot this time up towards mid-on, It's Scott there who's the fielder, but Kant picks it up before he gets there, and that is the end of Kant's over. So Kant now 6 overs he's had. Coming on as the 5th bowler. The score 76 for 3 Concert. The sun's back out here again here. We had a few spots of rain earlier, but it hasn't been a fast run rate. The pitch out there this afternoon, I had a look at it earlier, and although it looks quite green from here, it is drying out. The colour's slowly changing, but it had a greyish tint to it earlier on. It was damp and quite bare. It looks quite covered in grass from here, but you get close up, it's quite bare in places. But here's McCabe to take up the new over, bowling to Wynne, who beats the bat. He beats the bat that time, and there's an appeal for caught behind, and he's being given out. And Wynne, he wasn't sure, he stayed where he was there, and umpire Greener has given him out. So Concert have lost their 4th wicket. McCabe gets his second of the afternoon. And the Tynedale players all gather over there in the middle. And Wynne is out. He's gone for 2, caught behind. Caught Crichton, bowled McCabe. And this looks like it's is it Amin going out to bat? We'll get a look at him when he goes, turns around. He's just got his back to us at the moment. So the 4th wicket falls for Concert, 76 for 4 they are, and this is the 35th over of the innings, 35 overs, and it's McCabe who's bowling away here at the top end. 2 wickets so far now for McCabe, and there's under the sun here, bright sunshine now. We're going to have a slip for the new bat. We're going to have a short final leg. Oh yes, 2/3 of the way. Actually, he's gone 2/3 of the way back there. We've got a deep square leg, and we've got a gully. We're going to have a deep cover, an extra cover, a long off, a long on, and a mid wicket. So David Newton's having to come back inside the circle here because they had 6 outside there, Tynedale. So Newton's a bit short final leg now. So slip in a gully for company. And here's McCabe to bowl again. He bowls and he beats the bat with the first ball. A fast one that skidded through outside the off stump with the batsman playing at it there. And there's no run. It's still 76 for 4. And yes, it is Amin who's in the bat at the moment. He's up there right-handed, and here's McCabe, just swings around, and he comes towards us now, bowling, and another one beats the bat outside the off stump with the batsman going forward again. So he's getting some lift. He's bowling a good length here, just back of a length, and there's a nice juicy green bit looks at our end here. It's just about 8 or 9 yards down the pitch, and it's proven the better of the batsman at the moment. But here's McCabe who's coming in again, turns, runs in, bowls on the stumps, and there's a shout for LBW and another one. It's the 3rd wicket for McCabe. He's been given out to LBW. McCabe, he's gone for a duck. It's 76 for 5 here, Concert, in the 35th over. So Tynedale well and truly on top at the moment, and without Mansour playing, Concert's batting a little short today, and so it's proved as they've lost their 5th wicket at 76, with Graham still at the non-striker's end. He's been marooned up there for the last 10 minutes or so, but another wicket for McCabe. That's his 3rd now, and this is Ringer going in, I think, Paul Ringer going in for Concert now. So 3 wickets to McCabe, 1 to Scott, and 1 to Sam Peter. Sam Peter's bowled 6 overs, so he can come back. David Newton's got a couple left to try and finish this innings off, but at the moment they may not be needed. And with the sun comes the spectators here. We've lost the young kids over there. They were playing cricket over by the Kingsgate, playing their own little game of cricket over by the car park side of the ground to our right before, but the decking here, it's got some plenty of spectators on, plenty on the seats on the bank side. As McCabe bowls first, and his first ball to the new batsman there, it's outside the off stump, and Crichton takes it. So we've got a slip, a gully, backward point, and deep cover, an extra cover, a mid off, a mid on, both deep, and a square leg, and David Newton over at fine leg, just out of sight of us here round the corner. But here's McCabe again, charging in, bowling to Ringer, and he drives this one up to Sam Peter there, who's fielding at Mally Scott, I beg your pardon, who's fielding at deep mid off, and there's no run. And that was the last ball of the over. It's Concert 76 for 5 after 35, I think it is. 30 scoreboard a little dim over there in the distance. 35 overs gone now, so 15 left here. 76 for 5. Graham not out 22, and he's going to have the strike for the first time in a little while here. As the clouds, the clouds coming across the sky, they're coming from about just slightly the northwest, so the grey ones in the distance here will miss us as Cant bowls again outside the off stump, and Graham slashes away up towards the third man boundary, and that's Fletcher who stops it up there in front of the scoreboard. They've run 2, and now they're going to come back for 3 as the ball is fired in up to the top end there, and it's Fletcher who does the fielding, and Graham comes through for 3 runs. He's gone to 25, and the score now 79 for 5 Concert. And in comes the field. McCabe's come up from mid-wicket, and Parker's staying out there at deep backward square. Fletcher's come in from deep point. We've still got a long off and a deep cover over by the tennis courts. Cant to Ringer now, and that one's played off the stumps with a closed face, and it goes out there to McCabe, who's at mid-wicket, and there's no run. So we've got plenty tennis players out there making the day up here at Priors Flat this Saturday afternoon. In goes Cant again now, bowling to Ringer, who's forward and pushes back to the bowler. Slightly onto the offside, and Cant is quickly across to his left there and picks that one up. 79 for 5 now, Concert. Ringer yet to score. Cant bowls, it's full, and it's driven up here towards long off and to our left. He's going to get 1. And it's thrown in now. First innings of the match, that takes the score to 80 for 5. Graham on to strike. A deep mid-wicket in now, a deep backward square, a deep cover point, and a deep extra cover as well over by the tennis courts. Cant bowls. It's full, and Graham drives up there to Stevenson on the tennis court side, a deep extra cover, who picks it up and throws in. And there's a single to Graham. He's gone to 26. The score goes to 81 for 5 now. McCabe stays out this time. Cant in. And that one is just played into the gap there at mid-wicket, and Cant's after it, but so is Scott. But they're going to get a single Concert there. It's Ringer who comes through. And that's the end of Cant's over. So Cant now bowls 7. And he hasn't got a wicket yet, but concedes 1 off the end of the last ball there. So 82 for 5 now, Concert. Graham on strike for... Graham will be at the non-strikers end for the start of the new over here. As it's going to be... Is it McCabe who's going to continue here? Yes, 3 wickets so far in the innings. He's best so far of the season. 4 for 32. And before today, he's taken 21 wickets at 18, just under 19. But here's McCabe again now, and he comes over the wicket. And Ringer plays and misses at that one outside the off stump, and it comes through to Crichton, and there's no run. So the weather's still alright here, brightening up again. Canton at first slip, Renton at gully, Sam Peter at backward point, Parker at deep cover, Rainford up there at extra cover. We've got a long off in place. We've got Fletcher at mid-on, Stevenson at square leg, and David Newton at fine leg. McCabe again now charges in him, past umpire Greeno and bowls, and a shout for caught behind, and he's given him out. Yes, another one. 4 for McCabe now. 4 for Callan McCabe. Ring him out, caught behind, another catch for Crichton, and Concert in dire trouble here. The top of the table team. It's 82 for 6 in the 37th here. 82 for 6 now. And it's McCabe who's taken another wicket, and the Tynedale players all gather. They've gathered in the same spot every time a wicket's fallen here this afternoon. So 6 down, 82. Graham's still there on 26. And if he does manage to get the strike, we can expect probably some fireworks as he tries to play out this innings. But it will be... Graham will not have the strike, and the Tynedale players are still over there. The new batsman going out for Concert now. But Callan McCabe, it's been his afternoon, coming on a second change. 4 wickets for him now. And Tom Candidate's smile on his face down here. Sam Peter he's smiling as well, having a little chat to Josh Renton out there. He's got his blue cap on as Peter at the moment, hiding his new, I think he may have had it for a while, but he's put some lighter colour on top of his head, so he's sporting a new hairstyle. It almost blinded you when he was running into bowl in the sun, but here's McCabe again. He's on his way. A slip in the gully, here he is, and beats the bat again outside the off stump, and there's no run. And McCabe there just walks businesslike back past the umpire, going up towards his mark there, and the ball goes round the offside field. A good polish by Scott there on his right thigh. He pops up a little catch to McCabe. Now here he comes again. And here's McCabe, and that one's pushed up to Fletcher there at mid-on, and there's no run. Fuller ball this time, angled in at the right-hander, and closed the face on it there, the batsman, and it just ran out along the ground. So Fletcher it is this time, just to change things around at mid-on. He gives it a good polish before he throws it back to McCabe at the top end there. Here he comes again now. Up he comes and bowls, and it's full, and it's driven back to him along the ground, and that'll be... Oh no, there's one more left in... A few more left in this over so far. A few more to go here. He looked as if it was the end of the over there. He threw the ball back up there to Crichton. Obviously didn't want to polish it himself as he walked back, deep in contemplation. Just tugs his collar up a bit there. The breeze is blowing a bit as well now, as the sun out. Just about half and half we are, with clouds and blue sky at the moment, and that's a full toss, and it's turned round the corner up towards the deep square boundary at the tennis court side, and it's going to be 4 runs. So that's the first boundary we've seen in quite a while here this afternoon, and 4 more to the total at the end of the over there, and it is 86 now for 6. Concert, the batsman. Just have a little chat in the middle there. Graham about to bowl. Graham about to face the bowling of Cant again. He's still to get a wicket. He'll be hoping for one. Well, he's got 4 chances, unless the overs run out. So we've had 37 overs now. There's still 13 to go in this innings. Earlier start today, 12:30. And here's Cant now bowling to Graham. And he beats the bat outside the off stump. Graham came forward there to a slower ball, but it was well pitched and just meandered its way through. And he sort of went forward smoothly, then jabbed at it. But here's Cant again now bowling. It's full again, and it's pushed back down the pitch this time, and Cant is quick across to his right to get that ball. And there's no run. So no slips now, no gully as Cant in to bowl, and here's Graham pushing into wide mid-on for 1, and Scott picks it up, and he comes through to this end, Graham, so he gets another single. He's gone to 27. The score goes to 87 for 6 now, Concert, in the 38th over here. And here's Cant again about to bowl. One slip in place now. One slip. Most of the fielders inside the circle, and that one's let outside the off stump, and there's no run. And it's all happened this in the last couple of weeks with regard to league cricket, with the Durham Academy packing up and Brandon getting expelled as Cant bowls again as a drive this time, but it's just going straight up to Peter there at mid-off across to our left, and there's no run. And then this week we've had all the fallout from that with the promotion and relegation issues, but here's Cant again bowls, and that one's pushed up here to Scott at mid-on, and there's no run again, and that's the end of Cant's over. So that's the end of the 38th over here. 87 for 6 Concert. Graham's still there, 27 not out, and his partner there, 4 not out, and Cant it is who puts his jumper on now, just takes his cap off there to save smothering it down and perhaps disappearing and getting stuck somewhere near his chest. But it's going to be Callum McCabe to bowl again, and we've still got the sunshine here after we had some clouds in just about at the drinks break after 25. That's when the heavy thick clouds came over and just give the odd spot of rain. But sunshine now, a breeze blowing out there. Plenty of spectators out on the popular side at the Kingsgate Terrace side of the ground, but here's McCabe bowling to Graham, and that struck him on the pad, but no appeal there, and the ball shoots out there to Rainford, who's in the covers, and there's no run. He gives it a good polish on his right thigh now and throws the ball up there to Scott. A few sunglasses going on now. Not many were wearing them before. A few jackets have been taken off. The bottom tables right on the boundary side to our right have got plenty of spectators on as well, as McCabe bowls to Graham outside the off stump, and he leaves that one alone through to Crichton, the wicketkeeper, and there's no run. It's 87 for 6 now. Graham on strike, 27 not out. 11 overs to go in the first innings here after this one. 39th this one. And there's a few of the young ones down there up in the practice nets having a bit of a practice. Here's McCabe again now. George is up towards us. He's bowling to Graham. He bowls, and Graham goes back and tries to swing away, and the bat's beaten. All ends up through to Crichton there. Kept a little low, that one. Skidded through outside the off stump, and he was back and looking to play it through. Between the gap, there's a gap there between extra cover and backward point, but it's Parker in at the house end at deep cover, so he'll have to time it and place it quick and well if Graham wants to get a boundary through that area. But here's McCabe again. We'll see in a moment. Graham goes back again and rather does the same thing there. He just back, and the ball beats his bat again, doesn't quite get at it, and he's back in his crease and just has a look away around the field. Doesn't quite know what's going on here at the moment. Why aren't I hitting this? But we've got one slip in and a gully, a backward point, a deep cover, an extra cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, a deep square leg and a fine leg. But here's McCabe again running in to bowl to Graham, who just defends this one from the crease, and it goes straight out there, just off the straight up towards wide mid-off, and it's Rainford who goes across to his right and picks that one up, and again he gives it a good polish. But it's 87 for 6 here, Concert. Graham still on strike, 27. No Cameron Mansour today for Concert. No Paul Newton for Tynedale. And here's McCabe again, just turns coming in. Here he is, bowling to Graham. One slip in a gully, and Graham just pats that one down into the leg side. And a leg bye called there by the umpire. So one leg bye off the last ball of the over there. So 88 for 6 after 39 here. Concert, and Graham 27 not out, and it may be Forster in for Concert as well. If it is, he's 4 not out, and the wickets so far: 1 to Muddy Scott, 1 to Sam Peter, 4 to Colin McCabe, and that's where we are at the moment. And here's Cantu goes in again now and bowls to Graham. Starts the new over and Graham can't get that one away. It just goes onto the offside. 88 for 6. I was just having a look. I thought I missed a wicket out there, but obviously not. 4 wickets to McCabe as Kant goes in again now and bowls and reaches for that one. Graham on the full and drives it up there to Sam Peter, who's over at long off, and he comes through for a single. He's gone to 28 and the score goes to 89 for 6 now. Concert in the 40th over here. One slip now in place. That's Josh Renton. Here's Kant again, moves in over the wicket, and it's Foster back there and just chops down on it, and it goes to Fletcher there, who's at backward point, and there's no run. The picnics are coming out now, you see. Just getting a bit hungry out there, even though we started a bit earlier today. Just coming up to 3 o'clock here at this match this afternoon at Hexham. If you're about, do come down. As Kant's in again, and that one's just pushed back to him, and there's no run. Change in the field here. I'm trying to get Foster on to strike here, so mid-wicket's gone back, so is mid-off. They're on the boundary now. Kant again bowls short, and that one's played square this time. Up behind square to Fletcher at point again, and again there's no run. And Kant just gets the ball back now. Lovely sunny afternoon here. Few grey clouds passing over in the distance, but they're well away from here. They'll not cause us any danger. As in goes Kant again now, bowls, and there's a big drive there, and it's coming up to long off. And 1 to the total. It's fielded now and thrown in. So 1 off the last ball again. It's always 1 off the last ball, yeah. 1 conceded off the last ball of Kant's last 3 overs. So 90 for 6 now, Concert. Graham is still there, 28 not out. I wonder when he'll just take off here. 10 overs to go now. So it's going to be Graham. And he's at the non-strikers end again, so we'll see how it goes. 1 slip in place now for the right-hander here. A gully, backward point, a deep cover, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, square leg, and a fine leg. Here's McCabe to bowl again now, bowls, and that one's just pushed out into the covers again. To our right, and it's rain for 2, picks up there, and there's no run. And he gives the ball a good polish. And the other games in the league today, and it's in Division 1, we've got Lanchester versus Ashington, Newcastle City versus Alnmouth, Brighton versus Linz, Shotley Bridge versus Percy Main, Swalwell versus Stocksfield to go with this one. As McCabe's in again, and that's driven high, and there's a chance of a catch, but it's too high for the fielder there. Scott, who tried his best, he went flying through the air there. But 4 runs to the total, and that might be the signal down the pitch. The batsman went there and gave that one a good thump. But Scott, athletic effort, threw himself through the air there, but 94 for 6 now. McCabe comes in to bowl again, and driven square this time, and Peter picks it up at backward point there, and there's no run. Stevenson just drops out to our left from square leg outside the circle there. We've got Rainford polishing the ball at the minute. 1 or 2 people walking around the field here. And 1 spectator on his own over by the scoreboard just to the right there. And here's McCabe running in the sun. In he comes, bowls for 1 slip in a gully, and that one's pushed back, and that's a good stop. Diving to his left, McCabe down quickly after his follow through there with his bowling. Got down extremely quickly to it, and he saved a run. So it's still 94 for 6 in the 41st here. Scott is on his way back up there to long off. He's dropped outside the circle, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 outside the circle now for Tynedale. We've got a slip, a gully, a point, an extra cover, and nobody close in on the leg side, and that's driven up to deep mid-off there. And there's a single to the total. It's gone to 95 for 6 now, Concert, in the 41st. It's McCabe bowling, 4 wickets to his name so far this afternoon. Coming off the back of his county game last week and his match for Tyndale versus Alnmouth. And here he comes again now, over the wicket he bowls, and the Graham this time plays back up to deep cover there, and it's fielded by Parker, about 15 or 20 yards in from the boundary there, and there's just one to the total, gives Graham the strike for the start of the next over, the 42nd, so we've had 41 overs now in this first innings. It's 96 for 6 Concert, Graham 29 and Forster 10, and it will be Kant to bowl again, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Here's a word for some of our sponsors here on Cricket West Tyne.
Now on Spreaker Online Radio and via YouTube, it is time for afternoon cricket commentary. For the teams, the latest score and descriptions of play, let's join Matthew James Erskine.
You're listening to Cricket West Tyne program on Spreaker Online and Podcast Radio in association with the Royal Oak Country Pub, Cornsey Colliery, experts in business consultancy, and Cannon Bristle and Dairy Products. Drink well, eat well, do business well, listen well.
And welcome back here to the cricket. You haven't missed much, just a couple of balls gone through there, no runs scored off them. It's Graham on strike facing Kant again now. And Graham's forward, playing into the gap there between short third man and extra cover for a single. He comes through, the score goes to 97 now for 6, and Graham has gone to 30. And Kant to bowl again it is. Where's he putting his fielders now? He's got 2 deep square on the leg side to the right there, Parker and McCabe. As he bowls now, full, and he's bowled him, has he? Yes, he's out, bowled. And another one gone, and Kant gets his first wicket of the afternoon, and Concert lose their 7th wicket with the score at 97. And Graham is still there, but he's just taken his red cap off, his red Concert cap. Stewie Graham still there. He's 30 not out, so to push this score along, he's going to have to try and pinch much of the strike here. But it's Chapman who's going in for Concert now, the wicket keeper. And he's 75 runs for the season so far, Chapman. He's had 5 not outs as well from 9 innings, so an average of 20 there for the ex-captain as well. He captained for 1 or 2 seasons, maybe more. But Graham's just having a word to him as he walks up to the striker's end. So let's see how he gets on here. We're going to have Kant to bowl to take up the rest of his over here. But he's got his first wicket of the afternoon, Tom Kant. And he's gone to 24 for the season now. 24 wickets for the season. McCabe with his 4 has gone to 25. But here one slip in place as Kant bowls to Chapman now, who's forward and defends just behind square up there to Fletcher at backward point. And there's no run. And Scott it is as well. He's got a wicket too. That takes him to 10 for the season. He's only played 6 or 7 games, I think. But here's Kant again to Chapman, and it's full. It swung into him through the air there. And he tried to drive it, and it dipped on him, and it jammed, it hit the bat and jammed down onto his pad. And if that pad hadn't been there, his back leg, it would almost certainly have bowled him. But he kept it out off the last ball there, and there's no run off the last ball this time. So after 42 gone in the first innings of the match here. Concert sent into bat 97 for 7. Graham on strike, 30 not out. And it's McCabe who's going to take up the attack again. It's just gone slightly gloomy in the distance, but we've still got sun here. We must be just out of the line, but the blue sky quickly disappearing here. The sky quickly filling up as McCabe's in again to bowl, and Graham drives for 4 this time. A lovely shot over pitch there, and the speed of the bat as it went to there whistled that ball away between extra cover and mid-off up to the corner of Priors Flat for a boundary. So he goes to 34 there. That's the 100 up for Concert now. 101 for 7 it is. McCabe again gets the ball. Scott stayed up there at long off. Sam Peters dropping down to backward point, deep backward point across to the Kingsgate Terrace side on our right there. And here's McCabe now. One slip and the gully still in place. He bowls short outside the off stump, and it's pushed in to that gap at point now, and it has to run up to the fielder, which concedes another run, and the score goes to 102 for 7 now, Concert, and Graham has gone to 35, and it's McCabe who is just walking back to his mark there. And Sam Peter got the other wicket in the innings so far, which takes him to 19 for the season. But McCabe coming in again to bowl to Chapman this time, and that's just he just prods that one into the leg side, and he's going to get a single there up into the vacant mid-wicket position. It's Fletcher who has to come around from mid-on there to field that one. So Chapman's off the mark, 103 for 7 now. Here's Stuart Graham on strike, 35 not out. There's a most inviting gap on the leg side here, right the way around from deep mid-on round to deep square leg. So McCabe about to bowl. Here we go, watching McCabe bowl to Graham. Now he's beat the bat again. A lovely ball just moved off the pitch there, just the slightest fraction, and Graham was forward. It was again another nagging length ball, and it just moved off the pitch and had Graham beaten. He's all smiles about it, him and Jeremy Crichton having a little bit of a giggle there and a chat behind the stumps. Tom Cant joining in from first slip as well, but both of them with their hands behind their back. So the weather fair again now. Sun back out just a fraction. Moores, McCabe bowls to Graham, who plays back this time up to Peter there at deep backward point across to the right here, and he gets another single. He's gone to 36 now, and the score goes to 105 for 7. 104 for 7, I beg your pardon. And here's Chapman on strike, right-handed. Same field. McCabe nearly there at the end of his run. Umpire Greener holding a jump on his two arms in front of him. Here's McCabe now bowling to Chapman, who's forward and plays a nice shot to the left hand, past the left hand of extra cover there for a single. It's fielded by Parker over by the house end, and again another single off a last ball of the over, and now that takes the score after 43 overs in this first innings to 105 for 7 Concert. Graham still there on 36, Chapman there on 2. And we're going to have the captain of Tynedale to take up the attack again to see if he can add to his 1 wicket this afternoon. And it's what field are we going to have here? Let's have a look. We've got a slip, no gully, a short third man, a deep backward square, no deep mid wicket here. There's Cant's in, and that struck Chapman on the pad that time, and the ball just runs back to Cant, who picks it up. So the deep man out to the offside, a deep cover and a long off, and there's a mid-on as well, a deep mid-on. Now we're going to have a deep mid-wicket. I thought it would be coming sooner or later. McCabe it is who's dropped outside the circle across to the right. Cant over the top, over he goes, and that was short, bearing down the leg side, and Chapman tried to pull that one away, but he missed it and hit him up about the stomach there and bounced into the floor. A very closed stance, compact Chapman. Here he is now, facing up, no slips now, as Cant goes in, bowls short outside the off stump this time, and it was more a case, it was just short of a length, the ball didn't get up there, and Chapman just plays it out to Rainford in at extra cover, and there's no run. Here's Cant again, up he goes, over the wicket, and Chapman drives high this time, and it's going up towards the tennis courts. It's not going to get to the boundary, hasn't got the legs. Peter races round to field it. Chapman runs his bat in there as the ball flies up to Crichton, the wicketkeeper at the top end. So Chapman gets himself a couple there. The score goes to 107 for 7 Concert in the 44th over here. Chapman it is, 4 not out on strike again. 5 out now and 4 in. As Kant goes in again now to bowl, and Chapman is beaten outside the off stump that time, and Crichton takes it standing up there. 1 or 2 people have just vacated their seats across on the bank side there, maybe gone for an early tea here. As Kant goes in, and Chapman drives high, and that might be 6, is it? I think it may be, over towards us here. And 4 runs, 1 bounce to the boundary. Just didn't have the legs again there, down towards us and slightly to our left. And no, it was a 6. It's just been the umpire just changes his decision there, umpire Hardy. So a big lofted drive there from Chapman takes it to 113, and he finishes the over with 10 not out. And just to ring in the changes there, we had a 6 off the last ball of the over instead of a single. So 113 for 7. It's Graham still up there. He's going to be on strike for the start of the next over, and it's going to be Renton to bowl it, so he's going to get his first ball of the afternoon. And he's going to bowl to Stuart Graham, 36 not out. There's going to be no slips. We've got Callum McCabe coming down here, the third man. I wonder if he'll come back on from this end to finish off. David Newton's got a couple of overs left as well, but we've got a third man, a point, a deep cover, an extra cover, long off, long on, mid wicket, deep square leg, and a short fine leg for Renton's first ball here over the wicket. And it's a slow one that aimed down the leg side, quite full, and it's just turned out there towards the tennis courts for a single by Graham. He goes to 37. The score goes to 114 for 7 in the 45th over here of Concert's innings. The first innings, they were sent into bat just half an hour after 12. And here's Renton again, bowling to Chapman this time. Chapman swings away hard, and that's nicely fielded on the bounce. There's a shot at the stumps by Newton, but the batsmen get through to this. Well, it's Graham who comes through to this near end safely enough, and there's a single to the total. Chapman goes to 11. The score goes to 115 for 7 now. The breeze blowing quite strongly. It's picked up in the last 5 minutes here. Bright sunshine still though, as Renton trots up again to bowl. And it's Graham who drives square and runs this time up to Parker at deep cover in front of the house end. The red bricks of Spittal Terrace across there to the right. The protective netting over by the garden there, getting shifted along in the wind. It looks like a great big sea-hoo sail at the moment, which wouldn't be very good. But we've still got a long off, a long on in place for the straight drive here. Chapman showing he can play it. Here's Renton again, up he comes and bowls. It's full and it's chipped high, and that might be out. It's Kant underneath it, and he's taken it low down on one knee, and Chapman it is who has gone. And Renton gets a wicket in his first over here this afternoon. He was trying again just to play that little chip into the leg side over mid-wicket, but Kant was there and he didn't get enough on it, Chapman, and he goes for an important 11 it is really with his slow score. So it's 116 for 8 Concert now. 116 for 8. With Graham 38 not out and Chapman out for 11 as the last man there. So Renton gets the wicket now, his first of the afternoon. So we're just heading towards tea here. It's a race to see if the overs will run out or Concert will lose these last 2 wickets. But the batsman crossed there, so one good thing for Concert here is Graham's on strike. He should be, and he will be well set by now. Maybe he'll take Renton on here, because there'll be a flurry of deep fielders just back out from where all the Tyndale players were gathered in the middle of the square there. So we're going to have a long off, a long on, a deep cover, a deep square leg, And the third man is Renton bowls to Graham, and he's pulled that one, and another high ball, and one bounce into the boundary at the tennis court side there, and that wasn't too far away from the sprinting Stevenson, who was going round to his left, up towards his left in front of the tennis courts there, and it was not quite near a catch, but it bounced in front of him and just got past him. But 4 more to the total, 120 now for 8, and Stuart Graham has gone to 42, his highest score 53 this season so far in the league. As Renton comes in again now, bowling to Graham. Graham strikes it hard, straight at extra cover there, and it's Rainford who fields it off the ground. It's a full ball, and that's the end of the over. So no runs off the last ball of that over there. 120 for 8 now, Consett in the first innings here. The smell of food is drifting out from the kitchens behind us here in the clubhouse. Means tea's on its way, but just 5 overs to go now in this innings. 5 overs if we get them. 2 wickets of Consett to fall yet. And it's going to be Tom Cant to bowl again. So no change in the bowling at this end so far. We're going to have a close mid-wicket. We're going to have a slip. We're going to have an extra cover, a backward point, a deep cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, and a deep square leg. Parker's been posted out there on his lonesome all afternoon across by the house end, as Cant goes in the bowl now, and that's driven off the back foot for 1 up to Sam Peter there, who's at mid-off on the edge of the circle. And there's 1 more to the total, 121 for 8 now, Consett. 121 for 8. 4.5 overs to go here. Graham on strike, no slip now, deep mid-wicket. Graham turns that up to deep square leg, and Parker jogs forward and picks that one up and throws it in, and there's a single to Graham there. 122 now for 8. Graham goes to 43. And here's Cant again, just turns around now. He's about to bowl to the batsman here, and he bowls one up there, and it's driven, and there's no run. It's picked up by Cant quickly there, so Cant moves in again now to bowl. Here he is. That's a pulled attempt at there, and it's gone very fine. I don't know what that's come off. I think it may have come off the gloves or the handle of the bat or something, because umpire Hardy hasn't signalled for anything else. So did it get through him there? I think yes, it's got through him. It's come off the bat under the stumps there, it came down. So the bail's come off, so another wicket has fallen. The penultimate wicket here, the 9th wicket is gone. And I didn't notice that to start with. He went for a pull shot, and it must have come out. It was quite short, and it must have come off the bottom of the bat there and down, and the ball hit the top of the stumps and flew up to the fine leg boundary. So another one down for Consett, 122 for 9 now. And Cant has his 2nd wicket. So Tynedale celebrate there, and it's 122 for 9. So just 1 wicket to fall here. We've got just over 4 overs to go. So Cant 2 wickets. It is now 1 to Renton. 4 to McCabe, 1 to Peter, and 1 to Scott as Cant bowls now, and this one's just defended back, and Stewie Graham at the non-striker's end there, just waiting to see what happens here, whether he'll get another shot at the strike, but he's 43 not out. So there's 1 slip now, just 1 wicket to fall here for Consett. They've just got 1 wicket left, 1 wicket to fall for Tynedale, so we're going to have a deep mid-wicket here. Here's Cant again now, 122 for 9, Consett. He's in and bowls, and he's beaten the bat outside the off stump this time, and that's the end of his over. And the score now unchanged, 122 for 9, and it's Stewie Graham who's there, 43 not out, and he'll have the strike for this next over from Renton. And Graham just makes his way back into position now. He's batting at this near end on strike. right-hander, 43 not out, and it's going to be Josh Renton with a long off, a long on, a deep cover, a deep mid-wicket and a deep square leg. Third man and fine leg inside as our backward point and extra cover. Renton bowls, and it's down the leg side, and they're going for it. They're going for one run there. Crichton couldn't take that cleanly behind the stumps, and the bye signalled there by the umpire Greener at the top end. So one more to the total, 123 for 9 now. And here's Renton. He's just lost the ball now. The ball's gone loose, but he's about to bowl again. So we've got a third man and a fine leg now, a deep square and a deep cover. Mid-off is back inside, in place inside the circle, but we've still got a long on. That's Fletcher up there at the top end in the distance. But here's Renton again now bowling, and that one's played for one, just far enough to the left hand side of Peter there at backward point, and he runs around to pick that one up. So one more to the total, 124 now for 9. Rainford just gives the ball back to Renton again. Graham on strike, the field's back out, 2 in the straight deep, 2 in the deep leg side square, 1 in the deep on square on the offside. Renton bowls and Graham drives. He's going and he's run 1. Are they coming back for 2? No. And it's fielded up there by Scott at long off. So that's well done from Scott. Keeps that one to 1. 125 for 9 now, Concert. Renton looking for his second wicket of the afternoon here. Callan McCabe just down right outside our window here, just below us at third man. Here's Renton again bowls, and that's down the leg side, and that's either come off bat or pad, I should think. And yes, a leg bye signalled by umpire Greener there. So one more to the total, 126 for 9 it is now. 126 for 9, Concert. 47th over. Graham on strike. Third man, fine leg up. In comes Renton again now bowling. Graham's got that one away through the leg side this time, and it's Kant who's going to field it over by in front of the scoreboard there, well inside the boundary. So another one to the total. Graham's gone to 45. The score goes to 127 for 9. We've lost the sun now. Another great lump of grey cloud comes over, but this breeze now quite strong, keeping it going. As in comes Renton again now to bowl. And that one's played out to Peter there at backward point. So no run off the last ball of the over there. So Renton finishes that one, and the score now 127 for 9. Graham there on 45. So I think he'll have the strike for this third last over here, the 48th. And it's going to be Tom Cant to continue from this end, from our end here, the clubhouse end. And he just hands his jumper there to umpire Hardy, who folds it up nicely and hangs it over his right arm. And here's Graham on strike now. So we've got the long off and long on in place, extra cover, deep mid-wicket and deep backward square leg. And that one's just defended by Graham this time. So no rush at the minute. 5 away from the 50 here. 127 for 9. Cant in the bowl. Plays back this time up to wide. Long on here. They're running. They've come for 1. They've got 2. McCabe fires it in now at this near end. And Graham moves up to that top end for 2 runs. He's gone to 47 now. And the score has gone to 129 for 9, just before tea here on this Saturday afternoon. You're listening to me, Matthew Erskine, speaking to you for Cricket West Tyne on Spreaker Internet Radio. As in goes Cant again, and Graham plays a late cut there up to Newton, who's at short third man, but he doesn't get a run. 129 for 9. I've got a feeling he might go for the big one off the last ball here if he hasn't got his off the last ball of this over, if he hasn't got his 50 by then. Can't bowls now. Graham drives in the air, but it's through extra cover, and it's rolling up there too. Long off, and it's picked up now and thrown in, and Graham comes through for a single, so he'll try and keep down this end for the next over now. 48 his score now, 130 for 9. Renton's coming in to slip. Rainford's moved a little closer at extra cover. Mid-off and mid-on now in place inside the circle. Point has dropped deep, and the play and a miss there, and it's gone through Crichton, and it rolls away, and it's Renton from first slip who keeps that one, and bye signalled by umpire Hardy down at this end. And now the field drops out for Graham again. 2 away from 50 here, Stuart Graham. 131 for 9 concert in the first innings. The sun just about to reappear, I think, here. As Cant again now, his shirt tucked in, moves in. Graham just pushes for one, a nice shot into the gap, the big gap in front of mid-wicket there, and he comes through, and he'll have the strike at the end, at the beginning of the next over, and he's gone to 49. The score for concert now 132 for 9. And it's going to be Renton who takes up the bowling for the next over. And Renton now with the 1 wicket. And he's just about to bowl again here now, with a long off and long on in place for Graham. Just one needed for 50 here for Stuart Graham. Moves in Renton. He drives, and he's going to get it out to Parker there at deep cover, and he trots up to that top end, and he's got 50. There we go. Congratulations to him. 50 not out now. 133 for 9 concert in the 49th over here. And Tyndall will be hoping to take this wicket because it'll give them a full show on the points at the end of the match on the points column. But here's Renton again now bowling. And he's beaten the bat outside the off stump this time. And Crichton takes it cleanly. The batsman going forward there just didn't get it, that one. And here's Renton again now, up to the end of his mark. Here he comes now, looking for his second wicket here. He bowls now, and that's hit the pad, I think, that one. If it has, it's come through the vacant first slip position. It's thrown in now, and umpire Greener just watching him there. No, it come off the bat, quite high up on the bat as well. It bounced. It was a good length ball, and it lifted. So one more to the total. 134 for 9 now. Stuart Graham on strike. Here he comes now. Here's Renton bowling to Graham. Graham smacks this one up over the bowler's head, and it's going for 6, and what a strike that was, a flat 6 up to the top end there. It didn't get too high. It went high on the bowler, but it didn't get as high as the protective fences, and it shot straight up and beat the rope, and all the fielders up there as well. There's 2 of them up there with long off and long on, so he's gone to 56, 140 for 9. Here's Renton now. Bowls. Graham smacks a 6 over mid-wicket this time, or over backward square leg, and I think there'll be 1 or 2 tennis players scarping for cover after that one, because it's cleared the nets, and I think there was 1 or 2 shouts went up there, but it doesn't look as if it's hit anybody across there at the moment, which is always good. But 6 more to Graham. He's gone to 62. The score goes to 146 for 9. And now we're going to have a look for the ball across to the right, left-hand side from us here at the tennis courts. And have we got it now? And I'm glad that tennis player threw that one over, because I wouldn't have liked to try to hit it with his tennis racket. He may have put a hole in it. But right, are we back yet? No, we're still not there. We still haven't found the ball here, but anyway, we've lost the sun again here this afternoon, and we've got 1 or 2 more. Looks like there's 1 or 2 more spectators coming across to our right hand side, and the tea smelling good behind us here. All ready for the players at the moment. 146 for 9 concert, and it's there's still one over to go after this one. After I've never known it takes so long to get the ball back from the tennis courts, but never mind. It's back now, and Renton's going to bowl again, and it's going to be Stuart Graham who's going to take up the attack here. Well, Renton's going to take up the attack, and Graham's going to try, no doubt, to hit this next one for another 6 as well. 4 to get to 150 here, concert. Graham 62 not out, just has a look round the field. He's concentrating here, he wants a big shot. Here's Renton now. And no, he's just double bluffed them there, just pushed it up for 1 to Kant there at deep mid wicket. And why not hit 2 sixes and then a single to get the strike off at the start of the last over. And the score now 147 for 9, and Graham 63 not out at the moment. And it's going to be Scott who's going to come back. I just wonder if I've miscounted David Newton's overs there. I've got 10 down for him, but it's Matty Scott anyway who's going to come back. He's got 1 wicket so far this afternoon. He's going to bowl the last over here, and he's going to bowl to Stuart Graham. Now, where's Kant going to put his fielders this time? He'll come down 2 long on here in front of us, I think. He's being watched on now by his daughter, little Jessica, across on the seats there, and I think she's with, I can't see quite who she's with at the moment, but she's watching on as her dad Tom Kant just sets his field here. He's coming down the long on. There's a long off in place. 2 deep backward square, deep mid wicket, and a deep cover. And no, there's a 3rd man in place as well, so Kant's staying inside the circle now. So he's on his way in. Scott now over the wicket to Graham. Bowles, he's hit. He's going to be out, is he? High to mid wicket. No, 1 bounce to the fielder, McCabe there. And McCabe just has a look at that one. It was a miscue, and he doesn't get any runs there. And McCabe was in 2 minds whether to run in and try and catch that one, but he just hesitated and took it on the bounce. So, but there was no runs. So here's Scott again now. A big red streak down the side of his trousers as he bowls outside the off stump. It's slashed away over up towards the 3rd man boundary from Graham. They've come through for 1. It's Fletcher in pursuit. He hauls this one in just in front of the boundary. They've gone back up for 2 as the ball comes in here. And it's Graham who moves up to 65. The score goes now to 149 for 9 concert. Somewhat of a recovery here. Somewhat of a recovery. 50 for 3 and 76 for 6. A change in the field here. Kant has put himself back down to long on here, and David Newton's come off the 3rd man boundary inside the circle now. Here's Scott now bowling to Graham. Wide outside the off stump, and he chops down, and he's not going to take a single this time, and he could have done out there towards the tennis court side to Stevenson, but he's just keeping his powder dry for the minute. Last over here of the first innings now before tea. Earlier start today, just after 3:30 here. So here we go. Here's Scott again. Moves in the bowl over the wicket to Graham. Graham strikes this high, and he'll get 6 for that, over towards the Kingsgate Terrace side. He got hold of that one. So the 150 up now for concert, 155 for 9. And it's Graham who's gone to 71, by far his highest league score of the season now. The previous being 53. And there's always somebody here when concert played Priors Flat. It's been Dan Milligan the last 2 years when he played for concert, but it's Stewie Graham this year who hits a big score. Scott tried to roll his fingers over it there, and he's not taking a single. Again up to deep cover this time. And if he gets out here and Tyndale get this last wicket, he may be kicking himself. But and it was a chopped shot that last one, but he didn't take a run. There was perhaps even 2 there, but Scott in again now, bowls short, and he's hit it high, and he may be going to be out, is he? Underneath it? No, can't get there. It's a 4 off the last ball, I think it is there. A big swing over mid-wicket, and there was 2 fielders going for it, McCabe and Kant, but they couldn't get there, and it's 1 bounce for 4 off the last ball of the innings there. So there we go. We finish up, and Concert have finished at 159 for 9, and that is a big recovery from the score they were at. 6 down in the 70s, 3 down in the 50s, and it's Graham with 75 as he walks off here, takes the applause of the spectators and his teammates, and they all come in for tea, and that's the end of the first innings. So the wickets, 1 to Scott, 1 to Peter, 4 to McCabe, 2 to Kant, and 1 to Renton for the 9 there. And it's Stuart Graham with 75 who rather rescued that innings for the visitors today. But the players come in as another grey cloud goes over there. So they should be back out on 4 o'clock, so we'll be back on with an update at least at 4 o'clock, so I'll speak to you then. But for now, with Tynedale are going to need 160 to win this 20th match of the season, the 3rd last one here in Division 1 of the Northumberland and Tyneside Cricket League. So I'll be back at 4 o'clock and with a little update with Tynedale, who will need 160 to win. So I'll speak to you again in about 25 minutes time.